Hi there, February 5th, 2021. I'm DRutter, and today is approximately day 325 of my lockdown diary. And today here in Canada, 2 weeks to flatten the curve has now officially become a permanent state of emergency, loss of rights, house arrest, masks, and de facto martial law. Things appeared to be getting better here in Canada over the past couple of months as we have been locked down, unable to essentially do anything except for essential things. No visiting of family or friends. Myself here with my wife and child, we have been alone. We haven't seen a single person in months, many months now. And so this is, getting to the point of desperation for a lot of people. And the news was and is that the cases and deaths are down quite dramatically in the past month. And I saw this happening around Christmas as things were flattening out, and I started to report on that then, but since then it has definitely come down. They were saying that there's going to be a peak from Christmas, everyone's visiting family at Christmas and so on, but it didn't happen. And the numbers are just way down. Even the inflated fake numbers are just way down in the past, especially the past month. So as the lockdown orders were to expire tonight at midnight, a lot of us thought that things were going to be getting at least partially back to normal. And today they came out and said, well, actually we're going to extend the lockdown and extend the restrictions and the closures and the masking and everything else. Not just another month, but forever, they say. Forever. Permanent masks, permanent lockdown, permanent house arrest for everybody in British Columbia. How does that even work? How are we going to how are we going to, they are going to be in control of everything, and they're going to decide what's essential and what isn't, and if people can go to work and if they can't. And that's just total fascism is what that is. It's by any definition of the word. So they have come out and said that it's a fascist takeover, and that's by very definition. I'm not, they haven't used that word, but that is the definition of it. It is the government and the corporations are now working together, and the government is industry. The government is everything. The government is the religion now in this country, and everyone is worshipping the government, just like in fascism. It is just like in classic fascism, and just like in that classic fascism, nobody recognized that it was evil, that it was authoritarianism, and that it was the extreme end of statism and dangerous. And we're here again, and nobody's noticing it, except for a few people that are willing to speak out. And if you go into the community, which I will talk about later, obviously I have been out into the community. Well, not obviously, I picked this up today, so now I have been out into the community. And people they're done with it. They are done. But anyway, now this is just disturbing, as we were told it was going to be a couple of weeks to flatten the curve. And people said, including myself, that this would be used as an excuse to extend, it would just extend their powers and keep on going. And a few months ago, I'll put the link down below, I said, I think it was several months ago now, I said, this is going to turn into a permanent state of emergency. A state of per-emergency, I think I called it at the time. And that is now official. I was right. It is now officially going to last forever. Of course, they say that, they can always change it in the future, but when does government willingly give up power? Can you name a time in history when government has willingly given up power? I pause here for you to think about it, or maybe to pause the video and go and have a look, and let me know if you can think of anything. But, so this is what's happening, and not a lot of people seem to notice. Not a lot of people seem to care enough to speak out, or if they are speaking out, they're getting censored, like myself. I've done a few videos on vaccines, I've done a few videos on just, stuff I get from the mainstream media with a little bit of my analysis added in. And these videos have been flagged as disinfo, and I've been deleted a few times now, and I am, this channel is close to being completely deleted, and everything will be all removed at that point. It will be as though it never existed, all the comments, everything. So if there's anything you care about on this channel at any point in the past 15 years that we've been doing this, maybe go and save it, or take a screenshot, or whatever you want to do. Visit it one more time and see it one more time before it's gone. Of course, I have uploaded my entire channel to Library, and I'll put the link to that down below. So please go there and sign up at Library, and make sure you follow me, and you can see all my past videos there, and there won't be any chance of that getting taken down unless someone gets a hold of my Library account and deletes it. But that's pretty tough. They've got it set up pretty well. You can see those banned videos there. And I didn't say anything that should be bannable. It's just inconvenient truth. In fact, I linked to all my sources. In the video that was the most targeted, it used the word microchips. And I don't even want to say it, but micro blanks, right? If you say that word in a video with also the word vaccines, that video is automatically flagged, and I appealed it. It doesn't matter. It's automatically declined if it has those two words in the video, anywhere in the video. And I've heard other people say that as well. So, and I've experienced that now. So, and it's because that has been deemed automatic disinformation. But I got that from the BBC. I'll put the link to it below. But the information came directly from the mainstream media's official announcement of what's going on. So it cannot be disinformation, and I did not distort the facts as I said them. And I'm not a news organization here anyway. I'm giving you what I think is right. I'm giving you what I've heard, what I believe is correct. And I'm putting my links down below as often as I can so that I can back that up. But I don't claim to be a source of news or a source of information. I might be considered alternative media, but now to be having my videos deleted as disinformation when they are just mirrors of information that I got from the mainstream media, it's really disturbing. So you cannot find the truth on YouTube anymore. You can't even really go to YouTube for information. As my wife says, you can go to YouTube for things like relaxation videos or entertainment, that kind of thing, but don't go there for knowledge. You won't get the whole story, if you even get part of the story, on YouTube anymore. Now, I want to talk a little bit about local silver demand, because I was out today and I stopped in at a shop, and this piece is obviously fairly old. It says 1991 on it, but it looks more aged than that. It's a nice ounce of silver, but the story was, or at least the story that I get out of this is, looking at it anyway and talking to the owner of the shop, he said, somebody, I'm sorry I can't sell this any cheaper. It's $45. Sorry I can't sell it any cheaper, but somebody demanded that I pay a high price for it, and I thought, well, I'll be able to sell it, so I will. I'll pay that price. So he paid a high price for this. I don't know what he paid. But anyway, someone didn't want to let it go at spot price, obviously. And I think what's going on here is someone has sold their lucky coin, unfortunately. So I believe this was someone's lucky coin that went with them every day, probably for the past 30 years. Look at the wear on it. It's worn as though it's been in a pocket. And I've seen coins, I've had coins, I've owned coins that I've kept in a pocket for years. And this is what happens. The raised areas become shiny like that, and the non-raised areas build up this tarnish, this patina. And it gets this certain look. And I'm not going to clean this, I'm going to leave it as it is, and that's sort of part of the story of this piece. And as it goes into my collection, I don't have a lot of silver, but I do have a few pieces, and I try and grab an ounce here and there when I can. This, of course, $45, that's my allowance for at least a month for buying silver. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot to put away, but I am happy to do that when I can. Sad to get somebody's nice coin that they've had with them for a long time, obviously. This has been loved. Not cleaned ever. It's obviously been exposed to the air and been tarnished and stuff, but it's been loved, it's been touched and fondled, and it's been in probably in someone's pant pocket for the past 30 years. So now that is mine. And if you are able to pick up any silver, physical silver at these prices, under $30 an ounce, and if you can get silver anywhere close to that, it's getting very tough. Speaking in terms of US dollars, this does seem to be the price, about $40 to $45 for an ounce of silver anywhere. on the internet or in person anywhere. So, and US dollars even. So to get this for 45 Canadian, you could almost say that I got a deal, but you know, a couple of months ago that would not have been a deal, but this shortage, this physical shortage, is going to deepen. And I think at some point these prices, any price below $100 even maybe will, or even higher than that, will probably be seen as cheap, will be seen as just ridiculous that it was considered a precious metal at those prices. And no one, not everyone clued into the fact that this is real money. And when you put aside that real money, if you could stack away a little bit of that real money, you are saving for your future, maybe even for your children's future. So I just want to close by saying, as these permanent lockdowns, unfortunately, you know, that was just seen as a conspiracy theory, but that is true now. Permanent now, officially permanent lockdowns and masking permanently now, they say, in our society. These restrictions are increasing, and so must the resistance. And I'm not talking about violence, I'm talking about peaceful non-compliance. That's all we need to do. And it is our right as free people to not comply with unjust laws. It's called civil disobedience. And if you do that, civil disobedience is the peaceful public breaking of unjust laws. So you're not hiding, you're not doing this as a crime, you're not trying to sneak down some back alley and do these crimes. You're saying, I'm willing to openly do these crimes, and they shouldn't be crimes, is the whole point of civil disobedience. And I've done civil disobedience for years with my cannabis activism. I'm not afraid. It has to be done. And now is the time. So I hope you'll join me in this resistance. Talk to you soon.